Lately, I just don't feel much of anything. Have you ever felt like that? There used to be reasons to push yourself, work, family, endless to-do lists. But now, it feels like all of that has run its course. And yet, something inside feels unsettled. Like a quiet restlessness that won't go away. Is this it? Am I just getting older now? Was this really the life I wanted? You lie awake at night, unable to shake these questions. You can't talk to anyone about them, so instead, you type a quiet phrase into the search bar. Midlife crisis. It's the season of life when everything starts to shift, especially in your 40s and 50s. But here's what I want you to know. That feeling of emptiness you're experiencing, it's not wrong. It's not a sign of weakness. In fact, it may be the most honest sign that you've been truly living. And perhaps, it's also the quiet beginning of your real life. Hi, I'm the Japanese urban sage. Let's talk about the truth behind the midlife crisis. What is a midlife crisis? A midlife crisis isn't just a cliché, it's a very real inner disruption. You're doing all the right things. From the outside, life looks fine. But inside? You feel empty, disconnected, anxious. And this isn't because you're doing something wrong. It's because you've spent years doing everything right. And now, your inner compass is asking a different question. Why it happens, and why it's different for men and women. There's a structure to this, and it shows up differently based on your life path, and yes, even your gender. For many men, life has been about achievement, climbing ladders, building status, securing income. By midlife, that hero's journey starts to wind down, and suddenly, the goals disappear. There's no next mountain to climb, and that creates a deep identity void. Sound familiar? For many women, it's more about roles, being a mother, a partner, a nurturer. But when the children grow up or life shifts, those roles begin to fade, and with them, a sense of self. The woman who always smiled through the chaos. The wife who held everything together with grace. She starts to ask, who am I, now that no one needs me in the same way? These aren't small questions. They're identity-level tremors. What's really going on? A deeper look. Underneath it all is our biology. Humans evolved with a short lifespan. Our instincts were designed for survival and reproduction, mostly done by our 40s. So your body and subconscious mind assume you're done by now. But here we are, living into our 80s and 90s. This mismatch between our evolutionary wiring and modern longevity is the root of the midlife crisis. In a way, we've entered the bonus round of life. Our roles have ended, but life keeps going. And that brings us to the big question. So, how do we move forward? Here's what society tells you. Find a new goal. Chase another dream. Redefine success. But let me offer a different path. The mistake most people make is jumping back into the same old game, chasing status, proving worth, seeking validation. But that only works for a little while, until the emptiness returns again. So what's the alternative? Shift from external validation to internal alignment. Ask not, how much have I achieved? But rather, how honestly am I living? This, I believe, is the true definition of success after 40. My story, a failed man's turning point. I wasn't one of the winners. By my early 20s, I was already off the track, no career, no clear future. I was jobless. Broke. Lost. And yes, I felt ashamed, frustrated, like life had ended before it even began. But strangely, that was a gift. It forced me to confront the emptiness much earlier than most. And in that darkness, I discovered something unexpected. My life was never supposed to be a response to someone else's expectations. Not my parents' hopes. Not society's standards. Not my friends' admiration. I had spent my whole life trying to be what others needed me to be. But now, it was time to start living as me. Not because I had succeeded, but because I had stopped running from myself. That's when everything began to quietly change. The structure of life, a meta view. Let's zoom out for a moment. If you really think about it, your entire first half of life was powered by instinct. Survive. Reproduce. Gain approval. Chase purpose, meaning, and value because that's what your biology told you to do. And you did it. You lived the script. But the script was never yours to begin with. Now, here in the second half, the script is blank. No more rules. No more shoulds. No more performing. This is your bonus life. You don't have to make something of yourself. You already did just by surviving. So now, the real question becomes, what does it mean to live as your truest self? The role of metacognition. At first, it's natural to feel anxious. To hear that inner voice whisper, "You're not doing enough. You need to find your next big purpose." But let me tell you a secret. Those voices? One comes from your primal brain, the survival machine. The other comes from social conditioning, the world telling you what matters. Neither one is truly you. The key is metacognition, the ability to observe your own mind. When you can recognize, "Oh, that thought isn't me, it's just a conditioned reflex," you start to reclaim your life. You return to center, to clarity, to freedom. Final reflection, a message from the urban sage. If you're watching this, I invite you. Just for a moment, look away from the screen. Look around. What do you see? What you're looking at is just particles. Subatomic particles arranged in patterns. According to physics, that's all a reality really is. And yet, we give it names, meanings, rules, expectations. We tell ourselves what everything should be. And then we spend decades trying to live up to that story. Why? Because we're human. Because we wanted to survive. Because our instincts told us we had to. But here's the truth. You made it. You've done enough. You've completed the first half of the journey. From here on out, it's all extra. So if you want to strive, strive. If you want to rest, rest. If you want to simply be, be. There are no more rules. You've graduated. Yes, really. You've graduated from the life of trying to be someone for someone else. And today, you begin the life of being yourself, unapologetically, authentically. Welcome to stage 2 of your life. A life of calm. A life of presence. A life that finally feels like yours. Thank you for watching. And thank you for walking this path with me.